I'm Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, and we are in the midst of the 2020 NFL Draft. And for all of us, it's a three-day event. We're on the edge of our seats, and we can't wait to see what the Eagles do next. But for those in the business, it is far more than 3 days. It is a 12-month obsession. So to talk about that with us, we're joined by Eagles Assistant Director of Player Personnel, Ian Cunningham. And Ian, welcome. Thank you for your time. And am I correct in saying that it is 12 months of your life that you are completely devoted to scouting and developing players and looking and trying to make the Philadelphia Eagles a better football team?
It is, Dave. All of us, we started pretty much a year ago, starting in May of last year down in Marco Island working on this senior class. And now here we are full circle, and we're getting excited to start round 4 through 7. So we can't get too excited, but we got some more guys that we need to get.
Ian, when you started in Marco Island, how large in terms of numbers is the pool of players that you have to sift through? I'm sure it's a lot less when you get to November, December, March, etc. But way back when, last May, how many players are in that pool that you have to sift through?
Dave, I'd probably say it's over thousands of players. We pretty much break it down by region in terms of the West, the Midwest, Southwest, Northeast, and Southeast, and we have pockets there. And then we sift through all those guys, and we get our guys some schools to look at for the fall, and we hit the ground running.
I cannot tell you how many people I know who would love to be in your position, who feel like they know how to evaluate talent. Do you believe that evaluating talent is something that is innate, or do you learn how to do it and to become really great at it?
I think it's a little bit of both. I really do think it's about the hours that you spend evaluating certain positions. The more guys you watch, the more the players that you watch for the top first round players or the free agents, you kind of got a good sense of who players are, their skill sets, their physical skill sets, what make them tick, what makes them successful in the league. You see your hits and misses. I think you just need time on the job. You just need that experience to be able to see all types of players and skill sets.
Ian, day to day for you, 2019 through 2020, to get to this point, what is it like for you? Take us through it.
Well, day to day right now is obviously different than what it is during the fall. In the fall, it's you're getting up and try to get a workout in. You go to a school, you meet with your sources at the school. You obviously watch the players on tape. Then you go and you get to see them at practice. Sometimes you're able to see them work out in the weight room, whatever it may be. Then you drive to your next school. You're thinking about it on your drive, like what you thought about that player, where they fit on your roster, who do they beat out on your roster, did you like this guy better than the guy that you saw the previous day? All those things kind of go into account to kind of shape your own personal board. And then obviously you take it through all the steps of all the all-star games and the combines and all the interviews that we do. And then it all culminates today or this weekend. And obviously during the weekend, you just you sit here, you're watching the draft just like a fan, and you're excited because you've watched this your whole life, and this is what you work for and this is what you do. And then you get to see guys that you really like come off the board, or guys that you really didn't like come off the board. And then you have the opportunity to make turn the card in and take a guy that you've evaluated 12 months prior. So it's a fun process.
All right, let's talk about the 3 picks the Eagles have made to this point. Your thoughts first on the number 1 draft pick, Jaylen Reagor, wide receiver, TCU. What can you tell us about him throughout this whole process of all of that information gathering to the point where he has become a Philadelphia Eagle?
Yeah, Jalen's a player that's obviously a third-year junior that came out of TCU, very explosive. I think we can all attest that he played faster on tape than what he did at the combine. You see it. You see the explosion. You see the vertical speed. He's got the ability to take the top off the defense with the ball in his hands. He's a physical runner. There's some make-miss there. There's lower strength, lower flex. He's going to be able to break tackles. We're really excited about the element of speed and explosion that he brings to our offense.
Ian, in round number 2, the Eagles go to the quarterback position and select a player, Jalen Hurts, who we all saw in college football, one of the most prolific producers, winners, 38-4 as a starting quarterback, national champion, got knocked down to the deck, so to speak, came right back as a success story, showed that resolve, that confidence, that leadership. Tell me about Jalen as you evaluated somebody that we all saw every Saturday on television from our living rooms.
I think with Jalen, what makes him special is his resilience. To be on the top of the mountain and then get knocked down, so to speak, but then come back up, that just shows his mental toughness and obviously physical toughness. We have a high deal of respect for the person and player. I think what he's able to do, his skill set, he's a physical runner. He's strong. Obviously, his power weight or powerlifting numbers are well documented from his time in high school. He's got an arm. He's got really good arm strength in terms of being able to throw on the run. I think what he's done and what we've all seen on all the stages is he's won on big stages. He's cool, calm, and collected under pressure. He's about the team. He's about the W. That's something that we really like with Jalen and his skill set.
Ian, as interesting as Jalen's story is, the third-round pick, Davion Taylor from the University of Colorado, remarkable. Played just a little bit of football in high school, 2 games. Religious beliefs keep him away from sports Friday night through Sunday, and goes to a junior college, then to Colorado. So his experience isn't necessarily there. What did you like about him, and what can you say about how his story has shaped him as a young man and as a football player?
Yeah, I think the thing about Davion, he's a player. You know, we always ask our scouts, does he love football? And that's definitely with Davion in terms of he's a self-made kid. He's a player that's put himself. He wanted to go to junior college to play football, to get recruited, and to go play major college football. He took all the steps necessary for him to be able to live out his dream, and now he's going to be playing in the NFL. And it's a true testament to his work ethic, his drive, and his commitment to his craft. I think with Davion, he's still a developing player. He's got excellent speed, excellent explosion. He wants to. That's the biggest thing with Davion, and you get that sense at Colorado, talking to the staff, seeing him work. He's a grinder. He wants to get better. You know, listening to his press conference last night, I think everybody was able to get that sense that this guy just wants to be better and wants to learn and wants to know the rights of what to do on the football field. And obviously, like I said, his explosion, his quick trigger, his range as a linebacker is gonna translate to special teams as well. So we got a great player and a great person.
Ian, once this 7-round draft is over, I always like to call it controlled chaos. And at the NovaCare complex, it would be like everybody would come out of the draft room and scatter and get on their phones and call players or call agents or whoever you're calling to try to bring in as many talented players who were not drafted. Can you describe what actually happens with that group and why the Eagles have had so much success in that post-draft period?
Yes, definitely. It's our scouts. They do a really good job in terms of their cross-check positions. They know those guys. They know those players. They've spoken to the agents. They've been in constant communication with our coaching staff. We have a really good relationship between our coaching staff and our personnel department in terms of all the scouts. So they do a really good job in knowing the players at their position, and we try to target guys that we have on our board. Just no different than the draft itself. We stick to our process and we stick to the board, and we try to get the best players available for us. Luckily enough, we've had these guys in communication with the coaches. They formulated plans, and then they kind of go out there and try to get the job done. And it's a true testament to our scouts and their involvement throughout the whole process. And obviously now with virtually, it's a little bit different, but we feel like we've got a good plan ahead for later today.